So I wanted to do a video, this a little different, because I wanted to start sort of going into some alternative stuff and some alternative health and stuff, which I've been into as late. This is something that I've actually researched. I think I've even experienced some of this myself, and I think it's often overlooked. I know there's a lot to people gaining weight and obesity and stuff like that. I see a lot in the United States, but all over really. And I know because I've been overweight most of my life. I've lost weight, then I've gained weight, and then it's gone up and down pretty much all my life. The lowest I've gotten is like 240, and the 240 pounds. And the highest is probably 340 pounds. And as of late, it's been really difficult, if not near impossible, for me to lose weight. I really have to be pretty much perfect with my diet. I've been trying a ketogenic diet, but I'm working on a few other things. One thing I think that people don't understand about fat and other stuff, and this is something when I started getting into paleo diet, is why I try to get more organic and grass-fed meat is because not only are they better nutritionally, but they're free of things like toxins and stuff like that. I do get conventional meat, and I don't like to get some kinds of kind of conventional meat, kind of like grass-fed beef. That's because it's just basically the protein and the meat portion mixed up with the fat. And when I do get conventional, I used to, even when I was working, cut off kind of like the excess fat on conventional, like chicken and stuff like that. That's because a lot of animals, they store fat not mostly for, because your bodies are naturally they kind of hold on to weight, and they gain weight for a number of reasons, for metabolic reasons, but also to conserve energy. And also, in the past, people that were kind of like a little chubby or overweight would mean that you actually had enough to eat, because even a few hundred years ago, there would be a lot more common of people struggling just to eat. And I know that there's still homeless people and people that are struggling to just get by and have enough to eat. So I know there's metabolic reasons, and there's a lot more involved. There's genetic, there's a bunch of other stuff. But I think a big thing is that not only is it excess calories that it's stored in, but I believe it's also toxic stuff. This can be anything from heavy metals to all sorts of chemicals and stuff that are in our environment. I'll say probably mostly heavy metals and chemicals, maybe even pesticides and other stuff. I think especially in Western society, people are probably exposed to a lot more than people are even aware of. I know, for instance, aluminum is used in a lot of products like baking soda, I believe baking powder, even deodorant, and it's a neurotoxin. So I don't know why and even aluminum foil. So I barely ever use any of that. I use aluminum-free stuff like that. And I know fluoride. Some people are fond of that, but I don't really think it's a good thing either. There are some other things like chlorine and other stuff. Even a lot of chemical products, and I notice even when I go to down some cleaning aisles, I can smell they're strong fucking chemicals. Not to mention there's ammonia and all these other things that I don't really think are best. I try to avoid them as much as possible. I don't think it's possible you can get them out of your body 100% or avoid them 100%. But I try as best as possible. And I think that's an underlying cause of a lot of weight gain. I think also, diet, excess calories, but also eating the wrong things. I don't really think a calorie is a calorie. I think generally fat, protein, and carbs have a kind of different effect on the body, different insulin response and stuff like that. But I think that causes a lot of weight gain. And I even go further in to say that there's a lot of toxic kind of negative attitude, behavior patterns, thought patterns, stuff like that. But I think I've noticed especially a lot, dealing with these health issues and dealing with other people. There's a lot of kind of toxic people out there, like trolls, you know, just people being rude on the internet. I don't know, it just, some of the behavior doesn't really make sense. It's really hard to make sense. Lately I've dealt with like a few people. They've been just pretty toxic. There was even someone that had like chronic fatigue syndrome, and he was just, I don't know, he was ranting and going on a ramble, and I just eventually kind of told him off and then blocked him and then reported him, which is usually the best case when we're dealing with these kind of people. So yeah, I think detox is something especially I'm working on as of late. I'm trying to focus especially on that, but also sleep, because I know that my sleep still isn't the best, which I'll go into some as well too. But I will go into some new stuff I've been learning about detox, maybe even some health stuff and diet stuff. But yeah, I think that's a big, and a lot of people that are, say, like on the autism spectrum, or even like chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, all these autoimmune issues, are really sensitive to all these, and so it's difficult for them to lose weight. It's difficult for them to even detox this stuff, so they just keep storing it in your body as fat. I also think, you know, insulin resistance, insulin problems as well too, like pre-diabetes, pre-diabetic. So yeah, I mean, I do know that if you're overweight, it's you're likely to be more pre-diabetic and also have insulin resistance, which also doesn't help as well too. I think sleep is also a big issue, hormonal. I think also stress is also a big issue as well too. You know, when cortisol levels are up, especially in Western society, I think there's a lot of stress going on, a lot more than even if you were to look probably a few thousand years ago, it would maybe be a different kind of stress, or even like if you're a hunter-gatherer society. I think there's a lot of stress, and it's causing a lot of these like health problems, but also these mental health problems. But I think toxicity in a number of different forms is probably a big cause and contributor to weight gain, and also even obesity. There are other things involved, like diet and other stuff, which is, I haven't really heard, I've heard of this from time to time from a few people, but I don't really, most of the time when they, like mainstream stuff, they don't really mention this or talk about it. Not that I am aware of. Especially, I think this is the case, especially if you have a really difficult time losing weight, or even with health issues that aren't really resolving. There's likely some other unknown kind of reason. Toxic exposure of some kind is probably behind it. I think these things, even like kind of underlying viral infections, even stuff like Lyme is, I would say, probably more common than people think as well too. But yeah, that's it. I'll probably upload an affiliate video or some other video when I can. I just had to kind of take a day or two off, but I'll try to upload about every day. Tell me what you think. Yeah, and then I'll probably upload something on Zeolite and some other stuff too. But tell me what you guys think, and yeah, I'll see you guys around. Bye.